One of my viewers, a lad called Adam, has kindly made us a little base for this engine. This is actually a Rocco wood. It was old chemistry room or science room desks from a school, benches, and it's actually laminated these glue planks together, and the wood is a Rocco, which is basically undestroyable. I'm going to mount it onto there with these lag bolts just as a temporary solution. I'll probably machine imperial heads or put square heads on or put Whitworth bolts through or something, but I won't be leaving them in. I need to put the flywheel on to see how much clearance I've got on the end. I'm going to drill a hole through so I can put a bar through to lift it, because it's going to be heavy. It'll be a good 2-man lift. So we'll put the flywheel on and see how much room I've got to play with on the end. I managed to get a coat of green paint on the flywheel. It's not the final green, but it's some green spray I had, and I put some primer on, and before it was painted, my friend Bob kindly got it blasted for us. Right, so we've got loads of clearance there. I'm going to leave it at that because I might want to run a flat belt off it sometime, in which case I'll need the clearance. So that's going to be pretty good at that. There's plenty of room at the far end. So it's starting to look a bit more like an engine now with that on. And when there's a key goes in here, I might lap this on with some very, very fine cutting paste. We used to lap the mini flywheels on, the race mini flywheels, to stop them fretting and coming loose. But obviously this isn't going anywhere near the RPM or the power output. Of course this all wants painting green as well. So basically I'm just going to make sure that these are sitting nice and square. We'll go to the inside of that chamfer, 10 3/4. Fanny's hair, nothing to worry about, that's pretty good. I'll put a square on that one. Right, so that one there wants to come forward, or this one wants to go back. That's better. Right, actually looks better as well. And when you look at it that way, I'm looking at the distance there, and they're both the same. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. It's doing alright. It's going to make it a lot more stable as well when I'm working on the bench with it. The idea is to try and get it running this weekend if we can. Just sort of jury rig things up. Right. How's he going to get it down, you wonder? Well, I wonder as well. We'll go like that first, because this bastard thing is heavy. And then we'll go like that, and then like that. Right, so we've got the 2 blocks ready to go. We'll drill them holes and then bolt it on. I'll drill them on a milling machine so they go nice and straight and true. I'll have to measure the inner core size of that, and that'll be the bolt size. Like I say, there will be probably nuts and bolts or what, I don't know exactly what, but I won't be leaving them in. 8.5mm drill is going to be spot on, and if I go all the way down to there, that gives us enough depth. I'm quite sure what sort of speeds they use for drilling wood. That looks reasonable. I know the sawdust from this is poisonous, it's nasty stuff, the dust. You don't go breathing it in. I've breathed my fair share of poisonous things in, and it's silly doing it any more than you shouldn't need to really, but Strangely enough, we seem to, people in my generation work with all the nasty stuff, the asbestos and trike and miners with the coal dust. It's an amazing thing how you can eyeball something so accurately. I'm just going to run these in using the jog on the milling machine just to get them in nice and true and square. They're really going to get a good hold in there. That's the trouble with these keyless chucks, they don't like being reversed. They've got to drive it all in reverse. It's just going to make it easier for me to get the bolts in nice and square, that's all. Looks pretty good at that. Just no chance of reversing it. I think these are called lag bolts. And I did have some, you can get them in like black passivated with square heads, they would look alright. But shiny metric threads just don't look right. Unbelievably warm in here it is today. I'm pleased I haven't been at work today. The lads will have been really warm in there. You can tell I'm really concerned as well. Right, I think we've got them the right way around. We haven't. Bastard. You can see there, I think you can see the laminations in the wood. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits in each one. Made a real nice job of it, he has. Like that. Right, we'll screw it onto there and then we can work with it a lot easier on the bench now. So I'm really pleased that I did put the threads in on the milling machine. Make it a lot easier for these to go in. Oh dear me, Johnny. Not very good, that son. I'm using a different microphone. I've still got the Rode radio mics, but I've got a little lapel mic on, just to try and improve the sound quality a little bit. And the sound quality is really important on videos. I won't watch a video with crap sound on, so a little bit of applied science there. I haven't got a great lot of sort of sockets and things at home, loads at work, because there's bits I've picked up from car boot sales and been given. It's a socket there that fits the bolt at the end of the crank. 1.5/16 CF Whitworth. It's 1.5/16. It's a snap-on socket. That's the same size as 3/4 Whitworth. And that used to fit a mini steering wheel. That's what it was bought for 40 years ago. And now it's getting used on this. Right, it's looking good, all still nicely lined up. I haven't varnished these, I'm just going to let the wood absorb the natural juices from the steam engine, I suppose you could call them, or the natural oil. It'll get a nice patina about it. I might flash around here and knock the sharp edges off with a floppy disc and a grinder, just to make it look older than it actually is. Right, I'm happy with that now. I will lap the flywheel in, and then I think that's going to be about it for tonight. Okay, to lap the flywheel in, first thing is to make sure that the tape is clean. A little bit of very, very fine valve grinding paste. It doesn't take much, it takes very little. Put the flywheel on and just gently what we're looking for is a nice matte grey colour all the way around the mating face on the crank. I'll bring the camera in so you can actually see what it's doing. Well, it's doing exactly what I wanted to do. It's actually trying to turn the crank as it grips. You can hear it. Right, have a look. See two rusty marks where it's taking the rust out of the inside of the flywheel. So it only touches on those 2 points there. And the flywheel is actually machined away, so it just does touch on those 2 points. Got a matte grey all the way around that one. Nearly on there, so I'm going to give it one more application. You don't need a great lot. And you must make sure when you're finished that you remove all of this. It's got to be clean. Clean the flywheel as well. This has got a key in as well, but really the taper, it'll be quite sufficient to hold it on. Obviously I'm going to put the key back in. On the minis you had a key on the end of the crank. That didn't stop it from spinning, it was a taper that gripped it. You could take the bolt out and the mini flywheel wouldn't come off. And many a happy hour with various pullers and hammers getting the bastard things off. I'll bring the camera in a bit closer so you can see the result here. You see the two clear bands where it's touching. Right, that's going to be it. Make sure you go all off, but you've got two nice light grey bands. We'll have a look inside the flywheel. Oh. Little woodruff key goes into the end of there. Right, that looks good. On with the flywheel. Oh, there's the... on with it. This will be coming to bits again. Yeah, a little bit of grease on the end of there. Won't do any harm at all. I'm not going to go daft with it, but I'm going to tighten it on because we're going to try and get this thing running. Right, I'll probably give it a zap with a windy gun. That's quite a fearsome thing now. Beautiful and smooth, really smooth. I like it. Just kind of right proportion. I haven't painted the rim because my friend Scott's going to put in his big lathe and polish the rim up. And I might get him to machine a camber on there because it appears to be flat. You put a little camber on, and it means if you run a flat belt, that's what keeps the flat belt on the flywheel. Look at the traction engine, flywheel, you see it's got a bevel on it, a dome on it. Right, John's happy with that. It's certainly now starting to look a lot like a steam engine.